Stop tricking yourself out and ask for favor. It's really that simple. Don't make this more difficult than it is. Listen to me, I'm telling you this, I don't have no education. I have nothing. I have faith. Here's what Christians mess up at. Well, I guess it wasn't the Lord's will. Who are you? How you know what God's will is? It all happens at an appointed time, but you have to stay in faith for the appointed time to happen for you. I'm telling you, God got a plan for you that's so out of sight, it would trip you out. All you gotta do is ask him for it. You can never lose faith. That's the key. You have to believe in something that you can't see. You have to believe when you don't see no way how. You have to buckle down and keep believing. God is always coming. I just never gave up the faith. I kept going because I ain't know how to quit. Because I know if I quit, it cannot happen. All you gotta do is ask him for it and wait on it and be willing to work. Faith without works is dead. That's all you got to do. Everything that's happening to you now, it's just the process. God is going to give you everything you ask for if you keep the faith, but you have to keep the faith. If you keep the faith, you are going to get everything you ask for at an appointed time, but you got to stay faithful so you can get to the appointed time. Most people give up long before the appointed time. You're going to get everything plus some stuff you never even asked for if you keep the faith. Faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. You got to want something that you don't see, know how you can get it. But you got to work towards it like it's a possibility. That sounds crazy, but that's what it is. You got to see a future that can't nobody else see. And the reason you can see the future is because it's in your imagination. Everything God has for you puts in your imagination. Albert Einstein said one time that imagination is everything, is the preview to life's coming attractions. Everything we see in this world came from somebody's imagination. If you keep dreaming of that other job, you should go get that other job. But you ain't gonna be able to get that job if you stay on this job. Well, I don't see how I'm gonna get that job. Have you applied? Are you willing to quit and go over there and get the job? See that now? That's where faith without works is dead. Now that's where you got to start putting in something. What would you do if God showed it to you and then showed you what you got to do to get it, the work part? Are you willing to do that? I know how to treat a person. Somebody trying to help you by learning from their failures, trying to share it with you, and you looking at their failures, talking about they can't tell you nothing. But yes, they can. You know what they can tell you? How not to fail. Ain't that what you trying to do? So remember, the failures are part of the process. All you need is one hit. Once you get one hit, y'all, you have a track record. And people hire you based on that. Keep the faith, don't lose the faith, don't ever quit. Because you don't know when God gonna flip. He gonna flip the switch. You have to remember that God is processing you. Everything that's happening to you now is just the process. God is gonna give you everything you ask for if you keep the faith. But you have to keep the faith. If you keep the faith, you are going to get everything you ask for at an appointed time. But you gotta stay faithful so you can get to the appointed time. Most people give up long before the appointed time. You're going to get everything plus some stuff you never even asked for if you keep the faith. That's what you have to do. Faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. And I didn't see how I was gonna make it, but I had the faith that I would. You gotta quit tripping on whether you think you'll make it or not. Every funky thing that's ever happened to you, every disappointment, every hardship, every setback, you survived every single one of them. All of you. Your track record for surviving the funk is 100%. So if I was you, I would take another chance on that God right there, because that's a pretty good God right there. And he's been a good God to you whether you even realize it or not. You remember when you was little and you said, I hope I get a bike for Christmas? And you went out there one year and the bike was under the tree? You remember when you said you hope you graduate and you mess around and got a diploma? You remember when you said you hope you get a job and you mess around and you got a job? At one point in time, the older you get, this got to start clicking in. That faith is really the substance of things hoped for. That if you hope hard enough, one day you ought to get smart and turn all that hoping into belief. Faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. So if you ask God for $1 million and he tell you I'm gonna give it to you in March of 2020, you wouldn't need no faith. You'd be talking to people crazy because you know in 2020 I'm finna be a millionaire. But it's $1 million as soon as you ask for it. But it's going to come at an appointed time.
Life is a mystery. If you take away the mystery and everything was certain, you wouldn't need faith. Faith functions best when you don't know. So God often puts us in positions where we don't know to destabilize us from relying too much on what we know. And if you knew everything, you'd have no room for faith, for discovery, innovation, because creativity comes in uncertainty. Because after a while, anytime you know too much, you stop living your best self.